Hello guys, Eddie here from Wholesaling Houses Now. Today I'm going to share with you a tip on how to find properties while driving around. I call it driving for thousands, some call driving for dollars. And I'm going to give you an example of a deal I did with some unique things I do. And there's many things you can do, but I'll just tell you my way of driving around and what I do and what I look for. So if you're in an area where the values are about 250,000 or so or less, those are the perfect areas to drive by. Probably $200,000 or less. Great areas to drive by. Ideally within 20-30 minutes away from you. That would be great if you could do that. And obviously, when you look for ugly houses or vacant ugly houses, you obviously look for houses needing a new roof, maybe needing windows, houses that need painting, and obviously the grass. A lot of times there's a good evidence of house being vacant and not taken care of. Usually those sellers are very motivated or they're in distress to sell that property. So I tell people don't just go randomly drive around up and down the streets. Try to find a list of like I said. I tell people I do many things instead of driving around. I do many things like I would get a list of agents, like a list of REO properties maybe, or a list from some wholesalers that I can go look at some properties I can buy that day. Or one of my favorite lists is the pre-foreclosure list, right? So there's so many opportunities through the pre-foreclosure list. But the best deals turn out to be the ones that you're not looking for. Like if you spot a vacant, ugly house that's just sitting there. And sometimes when I see those type of properties, I just see money, like $5, $10, $15, $20,000 just sitting there for someone to go take it. So why not you be the one that would make that $5, $10, $20,000 in a couple of weeks, right? So here's an example of a property I did recently where I was driving around and I saw a house that obviously needed a lot of work. And there's many things you can do. You can talk to the neighbors, you can put a sign in front of the house, you can send them a letter or a postcard, you can search them online, try to find them. But one of the things I did here is I put two business cards on the front door, on the crack of the front door. Just fold them just like that, and then put them on the door. Like they'll stay there tightly secure for a long time. And this property must have been vacant for, I don't know, a couple of years. And after I did that, I got a phone call from the owner of that property from getting my business card. And the owner said, hey, I'm ready to sell this property. And I said, sure, do you want to meet tomorrow or the next day? And the owner was there with the son, the lady with the son, and she said, I'm here now. And I didn't really negotiate or ask any questions. I was in the area, or I'm pretty close to that area, and I said, I'll be there in 5-10 minutes. So saw the house quickly, needed work. I didn't really even want to see the property because I know that she wanted a number. I never gave her an offer. I said, what are you looking to get for it? Or I asked questions like, if I were to pay cash and close quick, what would be the least you'll consider for the property? So I ask questions and get to the bottom line before I start giving out offers or telling them what I'll pay for the property. So obviously they needed to sell it. They weren't desperate, but they're just like, the house is sitting here, we don't need it. And our dad got sick and he was supposed to fix it and move in here or whatever the reasons were. The house was obviously in distress and they were ready to get rid of it. So they never responded to my letters or my postcards. I tried to reach him on the phone, couldn't reach him. But you know what? When the seller is ready, that's when you're ready to. That's when the investor that's active, that's doing the right thing, will appear. So you got to go with when the seller is ready. So when you have a business card, when they were ready to get rid of the property and they see a business card, they weren't going to call an agent, they weren't going to call a bunch of investors. They're like right there, cash for houses. So they made a phone call, and I went ahead and bought their property. I didn't buy it, I put it on a contract, right? And once it was on a contract at a good number, I called a couple of the buyers I had in that area, which is an area that I work in often, and I said, hey, would you consider paying me so much for this house? $5,000 or $10,000 more. And I said, I offer my seller a very quick closing, like within a week maybe, because you can close on a property in a week or 10 days. And my buyer says sure. So I think we were okay with 7,000 or so, and the guy said, it's wire money. It was an easy deal, very easy deal. So that's how I found the property. That's what I did to get the seller to call me with a business card on the door, and then I negotiated a decent deal. Not a fantastic deal, and everybody was happy. The seller was happy, the buyer was happy, and I was happy because everything happened really quick. I literally spent maybe 10 minutes on the house, and I spent probably less than an hour altogether, including the driving around. So you could do the same. There's tons of those vacant, ugly houses there. Of course, there's many things you can do to find the owners of these properties, but some of the things I do, I like to keep it easy, local. I like to keep it where it's realistic for the owner to in other words, I want the owner to I want to make it really easy for the owner to like reach out to me, right? So there's nothing better than leaving some of your cards in the door. And in the back of my card, it just said, my card says I buy houses cash, or Eddie buys houses, and in the back of the card it says $500 or $1,000 cash reward. And the funny part was that the kid that was with the owner, the son, she was looking at the card, and he says, "Hey, can I get that $1,000 cash reward?" And I said, "Your mom already called me here, and if you told me about the house, I would have loved to give you $1,000. If you call me and say, hey, there's a vacant house here, you can buy it, and I would easily give someone $1,000 to refer me to some of those vacant, ugly houses." So I hope you enjoyed the quick video, and I subscribe to the channel, Wholesaling Houses Now. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook and social media and YouTube, and hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd like to hear your success. You can share your stories or put comments and questions below, and I'll see you on the next video.